Horses in Comanche died after they were attacked by Africanized bees last Friday. Experts say these bees are easily agitated and extremely aggressive.
When we think about the most dangerous killers in the animal world, we usually imagine lions, sharks, or snakes. But hiding right under our noses are creatures much smaller, smarter, and often far more deadly. These tiny assassins can sting, bite, swarm, or spread silent diseases that have changed human history. They are not just creepy little bugs. Many of them carry venom that burns like fire. Behave in ways that seem straight out of a horror movie and have the power to harm entire populations. So get ready as we begin our countdown of nature's most terrifying small monsters. Number 20. Africanized honeybee. The name killer bee is not just something from scary headlines. The Africanized honeybee was created by accident in Brazil during the 1950s, when scientists mixed African bees with European ones. The result was a stronger, faster, and far more aggressive kind of bee that soon spread across the Americas. At first glance, they look just like normal honeybees, but their behavior is completely different. Disturb their hive and you will not face a few angry bees. You will face thousands. These bees are known to chase their targets for hundreds of meters, attacking together in massive numbers. Their stings can kill humans, animals, and even pets if the attack is not stopped quickly. They reproduce faster than regular bees and are extremely hard to control, making them a serious problem for both farmers and people living in cities. But there is another side to them. Africanized honeybees are also great pollinators, helping many plants and crops grow. This mix of helpful and harmful makes them one of the most feared insects in the world. So if you ever hear that loud buzz coming your way, the smart choice is simple: run. Number 19. Assassin caterpillar. At first glance, the assassin caterpillar looks soft and harmless. Its green, fuzzy body blends perfectly with the leaves of South American forests. But hidden in those tiny hairs is one of the most dangerous weapons in the insect world. This caterpillar, known scientifically as Lanomia obliqua, is the most venomous caterpillar ever recorded. Each of the small spines on its body works like a tiny needle that injects venom into anyone who touches it. This venom does more than cause pain. It stops blood from clotting properly, leading to internal bleeding, organ failure, and even death. In Brazil and nearby countries, people have died simply by brushing against tree trunks or leaves where these caterpillars were resting. Even a single touch can release enough venom to cause what doctors call hemorrhagic syndrome, a condition where the body starts bleeding inside. Unlike brightly colored poisonous insects that warn predators to stay away, the assassin caterpillar hides in plain sight. It relies on camouflage, blending so well with its surroundings that people often don't see it until it's too late. Here's a surprising fact. Scientists have created an anti-venom from the caterpillar's toxin to save people who are accidentally poisoned. Another strange detail is that the venom is being studied for possible medical use, as researchers believe it could help develop new drugs for blood-related diseases. Number 18. Velvet ant, the cow killer. You might think it's a fuzzy red ant running through the grass, but don't be fooled. The velvet ant is not an ant at all. It's actually a type of wasp, and one of the toughest insects on the planet. The females have no wings, so they crawl on the ground like ants. But touch one, and you will regret it instantly. The velvet ant's sting is so powerful that people who have experienced it say it feels like being burned by boiling oil. That is why locals call it the cow killer, because the pain is said to be strong enough to make even a cow scream. Although its sting rarely causes death, it delivers a shock of pain that can last for minutes. The venom affects the nerves directly, creating a burning, throbbing sensation that spreads quickly. Its bright red and black colors warn predators to stay away, and its armor-like shell makes it nearly impossible to crush, even under a shoe. Interestingly, only the females sting. The males can fly but are harmless. And rather than build their own nests, velvet ants sneak into other wasps' burrows to lay their eggs. The larvae then feed on the host's young. A ruthless but efficient survival strategy. Even though the velvet ant's sting is rarely fatal, its pain is legendary. It's nature's reminder that sometimes the most beautiful creatures can bring the fiercest pain. Number 17. Spanish fly. Let me introduce you to what many once called the insect version of Viagra. Yes, you heard that right. In ancient Rome, people used the Spanish fly for that very reason, but with extreme caution. This tiny green beetle may look harmless and shiny, but it hides a deadly secret. The Spanish fly doesn't bite or sting. Its danger comes from a powerful chemical called cantharidin, which it produces to protect itself and its eggs. This chemical burns through tissue and opens blood vessels. Long ago, people discovered it caused blood to rush to certain parts of the body, and they believed it could spark desire. But what they didn't realize was that it's also highly poisonous. Even a tiny amount can destroy the stomach, kidneys, and bladder from the inside. If a large animal like a horse accidentally eats just a few of these beetles, it can die from internal bleeding and kidney failure. One of the most famous stories linked to this insect is about King Ferdinand II of Aragon, who ruled Spain in the 1500s alongside Queen Isabella. Legend says that in his later years he took Spanish fly hoping to boost his strength and passion for his young wife. Instead, he was poisoned. While historians believe this story is likely exaggerated, it still serves as a powerful warning. Number 16. Emerald jewel wasp. Meet the emerald jewel wasp, scientifically known as Ampulex compressa. It looks like a tiny gemstone, shining with metallic shades of green and blue, but behind its beauty lies one of nature's most disturbing survival strategies. Found in tropical regions of Africa, Asia, and the Pacific, this insect's favorite target is the cockroach. The wasp doesn't kill its prey right away. Instead, it uses precision venom that it injects directly into the cockroach's brain. The venom targets and shuts down the part of the brain that controls movement and escape. The result is horrifying. The roach remains alive and aware, but it can no longer resist or run away. Then the wasp performs something that almost seems calculated. It grabs the cockroach by its antenna like a leash and leads it to a burrow. Once inside, the wasp lays a single egg on the helpless victim's body and seals the tunnel shut. When the egg hatches, the larva burrows into the cockroach and begins eating it from the inside out, keeping the vital organs for last so the host stays alive as long as possible. Scientists have studied this process for years because the venom doesn't just paralyze, it controls behavior. It turns the cockroach into a living zombie, an example of evolution creating not just weapons of death, but tools of absolute control. Number 15. Red imported fire ant. They may be tiny, but red imported fire ants have earned a global reputation for pain, destruction, and domination. Native to South America, these ants have invaded more than 30 countries, spreading through trade ships, soil, and cargo. Once they arrive, they are almost impossible to remove. Their sting burns like fire, and that's no exaggeration. Victims describe the pain as thousands of hot needles piercing the skin, followed by blisters that fill with pus. The venom contains an alkaloid toxin that causes severe allergic reactions, and for some people, even death from anaphylactic shock. When disturbed, fire ants attack in perfect coordination. They climb onto intruders and sting all at once, leaving their prey in unbearable agony. A single nest can house hundreds of thousands of workers, all ready to defend their colony to the last. But their danger doesn't end with their sting. These ants also wreak havoc on the environment and infrastructure. They kill native insects, birds, and small animals, damage crops, and even chew through electrical wires, causing power failures and equipment breakdowns. One of the most shocking abilities of the fire ant is its teamwork during floods. When water rises, thousands of ants lock their bodies together to form a living raft, floating for days until they find dry land. This survival strategy has helped them spread across rivers and continents, making them one of the most successful invaders in history. Number 14. Tsetse fly. At first glance, the tsetse fly looks just like an ordinary housefly. But this tiny insect is one of the most dangerous creatures in Africa, not because of a venomous bite, but because of what it carries inside its body. The tsetse fly spreads a deadly parasite called Trypanosoma brucei, which causes sleeping sickness in humans and a similar disease in animals known as nagana. The sickness begins with fever and fatigue, then slowly attacks the brain and nervous system. If untreated, it leads to confusion, strange behavior, and finally a deep fatal sleep, which is why it earned its chilling name. For centuries, this insect has changed the shape of Africa itself. Vast areas of fertile land remain empty because of the tsetse fly's presence. Farmers avoid raising cattle where the flies thrive, and entire communities have been forced to move away from infested zones. One of the strangest facts about the tsetse fly is how it reproduces. Unlike most insects that lay eggs, the female gives birth to live larvae that grow inside her body and feed on a special milk she produces. This unique system makes the tsetse fly one of the very few insects that care for their young before birth. Modern science has made progress in fighting them. Special traps with blue and black cloth attract and kill the flies, and sterilized male flies have been released in some areas to reduce their population. Even so, millions of people and animals are still at risk. It may look small and harmless, but the tsetse fly has shaped human history, destroyed economies, and drawn invisible borders across the African continent. Number 13. Kissing bug. Do not be fooled by its soft-sounding name. The kissing bug gets its nickname from its creepy habit of biting people near the mouth and eyes while they sleep. But the danger doesn't come from the bite itself. It comes from what follows. This insect carries a deadly parasite called Trypanosoma cruzi, which causes Chagas disease, a silent and slow killer that affects millions of people across Latin America. After biting, the bug often leaves droppings near the wound. When a person scratches or rubs their face, the parasite slips into the body through the skin or eyes. At first, there are few signs of infection, maybe mild swelling or fever. But over the years, the parasite attacks the heart and digestive system, leading to life-threatening complications such as heart failure or intestinal damage. Without treatment, Chagas disease can remain hidden for decades before suddenly becoming fatal. Kissing bugs live in cracks of old walls, thatched roofs, and under piles of wood or stones. They come out only at night, moving quietly like small vampires. Their flat, cone-shaped bodies make it easy for them to squeeze into tight spaces and hide during the day. Interestingly, not all kissing bugs carry the parasite, and in nature, they do serve a role as food for birds, frogs, and lizards. But for humans, their presence is a nightmare. Number 12. Asian giant hornet. At nearly 2 inches long, the Asian giant hornet is a flying tank of the insect world, heavy, fast, and armed with one of the most painful stings known to humans. Its venom is extremely powerful. Scientists say that a small swarm could easily kill a person weighing around 155 pounds. In Japan alone, these hornets have caused dozens of deaths, usually from kidney failure or allergic shock after multiple stings. One sting feels like being stabbed with a red-hot needle. The pain can last for days as the venom destroys tissue, causes extreme swelling, and floods the body with chemicals that can shut down vital organs. Even survivors describe it as the worst pain they have ever felt. But its danger goes beyond humans. The Asian giant hornet is a nightmare for honeybees. A single hornet can kill dozens of bees in minutes, and a group can wipe out an entire hive in a single attack, decapitating the bees and feeding the remains to their young. Number 11. Bullet ant. Imagine a sting so painful it feels like being shot. That's the bullet ant. Found in the rainforests of Central and South America, this 1-inch ant delivers the most painful sting in the insect world. The burning electric pain can last an entire day, earning it the nickname the 24-hour ant. Normally, bullet ants hunt small insects and drink nectar, but when threatened, their defense is fierce. They swarm together and sting repeatedly, injecting venom that attacks nerves and muscles. Among the Tsetse Mawe tribe of Brazil, young men wear gloves filled with live bullet ants during warrior initiation. Enduring the stings without crying out is a test of strength and courage. Despite their fearsome sting, bullet ants help control pests and spread seeds through the rainforest. Their venom is also being studied by scientists for its potential to create new pain treatments. Number 10. Sandfly. Tiny, quiet, and almost invisible, the sandfly may look harmless, but it's one of the deadliest insects on Earth. This fragile-looking fly spreads leishmaniasis, a parasitic disease that eats away at the skin, and in severe cases, attacks internal organs like the liver and spleen. A single bite can lead to open wounds that take months to heal, or turn fatal if left untreated. Millions of people, especially in South America, Africa, and Asia, are infected each year. What makes sandflies so dangerous is their stealth. They bite silently at night and are small enough to slip through normal mosquito nets. Even more alarming, as global temperatures rise, these insects are spreading to new regions, including parts of Europe and North America. If you ever come across a sandfly, take no chances. Cover up, protect your skin, and move fast. This tiny insect carries more danger than its delicate wings will ever show. Number 9. Holotrichius inesi, the desert assassin. Deep in the arid deserts of the Middle East lives one of the most mysterious killers of the insect world, Holotrichius inesi, also known as the desert assassin bug. This insect looks ordinary at first glance, small, dusty, and easy to overlook against the sand. But behind that camouflage lies a ruthless predator. It belongs to the assassin bug family, a group known for piercing their prey with a sharp beak and injecting a deadly cocktail of saliva that liquefies organs from the inside. The victim is then sucked dry, a brutal, silent meal. The desert assassin bug is a master of stealth. It hunts by ambush, creeping slowly across dunes and rocks, waiting for beetles, spiders, and even small lizards to stray too close. Its strike is quick, a precise stab, a drop of venom, and within seconds, its prey collapses. Locals in parts of the Middle East whisper stories about this insect, claiming its sting has felled camels, livestock, and even people. While science hasn't confirmed human fatalities, its venom causes intense pain, burning, and tissue damage that can last for days. Many who've encountered it compare the agony to a scorpion's sting, only colder, more penetrating, and eerily slow to fade. What makes Holotrichius inesi even more fascinating is its deceptive nature. Unlike brightly colored venomous insects that warn predators to stay away, this one hides in plain sight, blending perfectly with its surroundings. To the untrained eye, it's just another harmless desert bug. To its prey, it's death on 6 legs. In a world where survival belongs to the clever and the cruel, the desert assassin bug reigns through patience and precision. You might never see it coming, and by the time you do, it's already too late. Number 8. Giant water bug. Meet the giant water bug, a predator that lurks just below the surface of ponds and streams. Sometimes called the toe biter, this insect can grow up to 4 inches long, big enough to make anyone flinch. Found across Asia and the Americas, these hunters lie in wait, motionless, until the perfect moment to strike. With their strong front legs, they grab fish, frogs, or even small turtles and pierce them with a sharp beak. Then they inject digestive enzymes that liquefy their prey from the inside out. Once the victim is paralyzed and dissolved, the bug simply drinks it dry. For humans, their bite isn't deadly, but it's unforgettable. The pain is sharp, sudden, and can leave throbbing welts for days. It's no wonder swimmers in some regions fear stepping into shallow water. But in parts of Southeast Asia, the giant water bug is seen differently. There it's considered a delicacy, roasted or fried for its strong, unique flavor. In fact, its scent is even used in certain sauces and traditional dishes. With its alien-like shape, piercing bite, and ability to take down creatures far larger than itself, the giant water bug is both feared and admired. Number 7. Botfly. Meet the botfly, a master of disguise and one of nature's most unsettling parasites. Play this found in Central and South America. This insect doesn't just bite, it burrows. The female botfly uses mosquitoes to do her dirty work. She attaches her eggs to their bodies, and when the mosquito lands on a warm-blooded host, the eggs hatch. The tiny larvae then burrow beneath the skin, feeding on tissue while breathing through small holes. Victims often feel movement under their skin and develop painful swollen bumps, sometimes for weeks, until the larvae are removed or emerge on their own. And removing them isn't simple. Doctors or locals often use petroleum jelly or bacon strips to block the larva's air hole, forcing it to wriggle to the surface for oxygen. Others use tweezers or suction to pull it out whole, but if it breaks during removal, infection can set in. Some cases even require minor surgery to extract the parasite completely. Though rarely dangerous, the experience is deeply disturbing. Here's the strange part. Botflies actually help scientists study wound healing, since their larvae avoid damaging vital tissues while feeding. A horrifying parasite, yes, but also a reminder of nature's eerie precision. Number 6. Mosquito. It's small, silent, and everywhere, yet it kills more people each year than any other creature on the planet. The mosquito may look harmless, but its bite carries invisible killers. When a mosquito feeds, it pierces the skin with a needle-like proboscis and draws blood, but in that brief moment, it can transmit some of the most devastating diseases known to humanity: malaria, dengue fever, Zika virus, and West Nile virus. All ride on the wings of this tiny insect. Every year, malaria alone infects over 200 million people and kills more than 500,000, mostly young children. Dengue fever can cause internal bleeding and shock, Zika leads to severe birth defects, and West Nile attacks the brain, leaving lasting neurological damage. What makes mosquitoes even more frightening is their adaptability. They breed in a puddle as small as a bottle cap, thrive in jungles and cities alike, and evolve quickly to resist insecticides. Climate change is expanding their territory, bringing once tropical diseases into new regions across Europe and North America. And here's the unsettling twist: only female mosquitoes bite. They need blood to produce eggs, turning every meal into a potential transmission event. To humans, it's an itch. To the mosquito, it's survival. So next time you hear that faint buzz in your ear, remember, it's not just an annoyance. It could be the sound of the deadliest hunter on Earth. Number 5. Cicada killer wasp. Loud, huge, and fearsome at first sight, the cicada killer wasp looks like something out of a nightmare. Nearly 2 inches long with bold yellow and black markings, it's easy to see why people panic when one flies by. But despite its name, this wasp rarely bothers humans. Its true target is the cicada. When it hears a cicada's song, the wasp hunts it down, paralyzes it with a sting, and carries it to an underground burrow. There it lays an egg on the still living prey. When the larva hatches, it feeds on the cicada bit by bit. Though the process sounds gruesome, these wasps are harmless unless handled. Males can't sting, and females only do so when threatened. In truth, the cicada killer wasp helps nature, keeping cicada numbers in check and improving soil as it digs. Its sting is mild compared to bees or hornets. It's the size and buzz that scare people most. So next time you hear that deep summer hum, don't run. It's just nature's hunter at work. Number 4. Black widow spider. Few creatures are as instantly recognizable or as feared as the black widow spider. With its glossy black body and the unmistakable red hourglass marking on its abdomen, it's a living symbol of danger and mystery. Found on nearly every continent, black widows prefer dark, quiet places like corners of garages, woodpiles, garden sheds, and beneath rocks. There, they spin their irregular, tangled webs and wait patiently for unsuspecting prey. Their venom is a powerful neurotoxin, more potent than that of a rattlesnake, though injected in much smaller amounts. A single bite can cause sharp pain, muscle cramps, heavy sweating, and sometimes seizures as the nervous system goes into overdrive. Before modern medicine, black widow bites were widely feared and often fatal. Today, thanks to anti-venom and proper care, deaths are extremely rare, but the fear remains. Adding to their dark reputation is their chilling mating behavior. After mating, the female occasionally kills and eats the male, a brutal act of survival that earned her the name Black Widow. Despite the myths, black widows are not aggressive. They only bite when threatened or trapped against skin. Most prefer to hide and avoid confrontation altogether. Still, there's something haunting about their presence, that glossy black silhouette and crimson mark that warns of danger. The black widow spider stands as one of nature's most enduring symbols of lethal beauty. Elegant, patient, and deadly when provoked. Number 3. Brown recluse spider. It may look plain and harmless, but the brown recluse spider is one of the most feared spiders in North America. Small, shy, and brown in color, it often goes unnoticed, until it's too late. This spider gets its name from its secretive nature. It prefers dark, quiet places like attics, closets, basements, or even shoes left on the floor. What sets it apart is the small violin-shaped mark on its back, a sign many people miss before reaching in and getting bitten. The danger lies in its venom. Unlike the neurotoxic bite of the black widow, the recluse's venom destroys tissue. It causes necrosis, meaning the skin and flesh around the bite can die and rot away. Victims may first feel a mild sting, but within hours, swelling and blistering begin. In severe cases, deep ulcers form that can take weeks or even months to heal, sometimes leaving lasting scars. Most brown recluse bites are not fatal, but they can be extremely painful and disfiguring. The spider doesn't attack humans intentionally. Most bites happen when someone accidentally traps it against their skin. Even so, its reputation is well earned. A creature so small, hiding in your own home yet capable of melting flesh, reminds us that danger doesn't always come with a warning. The brown recluse spider proves that sometimes the most ordinary-looking things can cause the greatest harm. Number 2. Japanese giant hornet. Meet Japan's most feared flying predator, the Japanese giant hornet. A close relative of the Asian giant hornet, this massive insect has earned a legendary reputation across Japan, both in folklore and in real life. These hornets can grow more than 4 centimeters long, with broad orange wings and powerful jaws designed for destruction. Their venom is strong enough to break down tissue and cause serious organ failure when multiple stings occur. For those allergic to insect venom, even a few stings can be fatal. But their most chilling behavior is their war against honeybees. A small group of Japanese giant hornets can invade a beehive and slaughter thousands of bees in just a few hours. They decapitate their victims and carry the remains back to feed their larvae, leaving behind a silent field of destruction. For humans, encounters are rare but dangerous. Their sting is extremely painful, often compared to a hot nail being driven into the skin. Every year, several people in Japan are hospitalized or even killed by these hornets, making them one of the most dangerous insects in Asia. Yet, in Japanese culture, they are not just feared, they are respected. They symbolize strength, endurance, and the balance between beauty and danger in nature. Number 1. Cayenne flesh-eating beetle. And to the last on our list, a creature that turns death itself into survival. The cayenne flesh-eating beetle. Unlike venomous spiders or stinging wasps, this beetle wages its battles in silence. It thrives wherever decay begins, feeding on the remains of the dead. Its larvae burrow deep into flesh, consuming every trace until only bone is left. Though unsettling, this beetle plays an important role in nature's cycle. It helps break down dead matter, returning nutrients to the earth. In a strange twist, humans also use it. Scientists rely on these beetles to clean skeletons for study without harming fragile bones. But in human spaces, they can become destructive. They've been known to infest stored food, animal products, and even museum collections, chewing through everything organic in their path. The cayenne flesh-eating beetle may not sting or bite, but it embodies nature's most ruthless truth, that every life ends, and every end gives rise to something new. Silent, patient, and efficient. It is the final reminder in our countdown that even death has its workers.